Hello, folks. I am Raqus. Voice of Dog is with me, and this
Hello.
is 6 Days of Sacrifice. This here is the final game of the Chzo mythos. Well, it's the final game of the original series. There's more work done in this world, but as far as like the core point and click games that Yahtzee made, this is what caps the whole thing off. Dog, any thoughts before we get started?
Oh, right, I forgot. I need to press the button to say things. Yeah, this is a game. We had a nice little trilogy, before this game. But,
This is the divisive one, isn't it? See, I don't hate it. I think some of the highest moments in the series are in this game. Also,
I
some
think
of the lowest.
yeah, okay. I'm kind of on the same page. Maybe a bit less so on the up part, where I'm like, I think its highs are pretty good, but I think its lows are really bad.
Yeah. Well, let's stop
I think
talking about.
I think it starts out fine. Let's start it. Let's do
let's
it.
stop talking about doing it and doing it. And no commentary again.
No commentary. We have commentary.
That's our jobs. But again, I highly encourage go download these yourself and check out the behind the scenes stuff. It's interesting. Yesterday, I saw the body of the bridge keeper engulfed in flame, and I saw the bridge created by 1/3. Tomorrow, I saw the soul of the bridge keeper reduced to ash, and I saw the bridge created by 2/3. Today, the mind of the bridge keeper shall meet with its destiny, and I shall see the bridge extend between the realms. And the many children of the king shall leap and dance and sing praise in his name, for great is his wisdom and his benevolence. Alright, we have us a little recap of the story so far. Now, if you recall, they mentioned at the end of Trilby's notes, the bridge keeper being John Defoe and having to deal with his mind, body, and soul in order to bridge the realms.
So his soul is in the wood, right? His body is destroyed on the left. His soul is destroyed on the right.
Correct. When Roderick Defoe beat his son to death with the idol, it being of the ethereal realm took John's soul into itself. That's what made the idol the conduit to possess Trilby and Jim, and then later Barry and William, Dr. Taylor. So if the body is destroyed in 1990 something, and the soul is destroyed in the far future, then we meet in the middle.
So it's at the exact point between these two events is where this game takes place.
We have a similar control scheme back to how we had in 7 Days a Skeptic. Hover over clickables, right click to get your verbs and your inventory. We now have the option to right click and examine. And we have a phone. We are Theo, calling home office. Up top, also got a journal. Theo keeps notes on things. Got to save our load, quit, and a small about section. We are currently at the front desk of ophthalmology, which What that is will be made apparent in a moment. No call buttons on the elevator. So yeah, we are somewhere in the... This would be the 22nd, late 22nd century.
I'm sorry, I never count centuries right. What year is this?
This will be... I want to say 5 Days a Stranger takes place in 1993, so 196 years later would be
2180. Yeah.
2189, I believe.
Long before we'll be around. After.
Yeah, halfway between present day and Star Trek times.
So a bunch of boring but notable technology improvements between then and now.
Yes. Like, we have our cell phone, but it is still
good.
phone.
We have a flip phone, finally.
Yeah. we haven't expanded
Glad we
much.
finally got that completed.
Well, that's the
Glad
thing where,
humanity
like,
got to that.
you look at old episodes of Star Trek from the 60s, and they've looked forward into the future, and they've got flip phones. That's the best they could come up with. So we can't leave until we speak with Mr. Garriott. Life becoming a struggle? Need a guiding hand? Want to be part of the world's fastest growing family? Ophthalmology is the religion catered for you, taking the best parts of all previous religions to make a great new way of thinking. Join ophthalmology today. That doesn't...
because... Never mind.
That doesn't sound... That's not a cult. What are you talking about? So the council needs to do a survey on the building grounds to verify that they can do some expansion. Just typical small town government bureaucracy.
Nonsense.
Yep. That is our job as dorky, pencil-pushing Theo DeCabe to come and do our regular, everyday, unexciting, getting pushed down an elevator shaft.
And there's our prologue.
Mm-hmm. I hope you appreciate how quickly I was walking in circles around that lobby, because that's going to be the end of that for a while.
Oh my god, I forgot.
Yeah, one of the... Well, you'll see. Who is that? Who is our friend? Also, that bloody mess on the bed to the left, that's us. Our neck is broken. Samantha Hardy, descendant of Philip Hardy, treasure hunter and ghost murder victim from 5 Days a Stranger.
And dead guy.
Yes. Samantha appears to have inherited Phil's tendency to walk with her hands in her pockets. So 200 years later, we have a strangely familiar looking man here. He's tall, he's athletic, he's in his early 30s and wearing absurdly old-fashioned clothes and a very fine hat. Though he's a bit of a grumpy asshole. Who is guard? So we can't really communicate freely, nor can we move or talk much without hurting. She doesn't activate the screen. Sending her to the desk doesn't do any good. What about the console? Do not talk about the employers. Maybe the password. No idea what the password is. Hey, friend, what's the password? I don't think we can get anything out of him. There is a burnt piece of paper on the desk over here, though. And... So, we can't get her to the desk without guard over here.
Can you frisk him?
Ah, look at that. You're right. You're right. I was thinking this piece of paper here was what had the password on it. What's on this paper? Okay. Now we can get the console going. So turn on the privacy screen, which is just fucking... That's beautiful. He doesn't seem to have any problems with that. Well, might as well do the door, since that's the other thing in this room we can use. And, oh, jeepers.
Hey.
Hi, friend. Well, now we don't have to wonder about what he was doing here.
I'm just a building inspector.
I had to get a form signed. Neck's broken, legs busted all to shit. Oh. They are the public face of the Order of the Blessed Agonies. Okay, we're in a pretty bleak situation, but at least we have an immediate goal. This is our walk speed. That is going to be our pace for the rest of the game. From Acolyte Garriott to Acolyte Darevin, our preparations are complete. Feel free to evacuate yourself and your staff when you have finished burning your records. But make sure Canning and the prisoners remain. Our master will also remain and make his own arrangements. I will evacuate last when I have given the building and complex a final Okay, storage room. And the door in the infirmary and this door both lead to the same place.
So, I just want to point out, if we could go back in that previous room.
The storage room here?
Yeah, just this really ordinary nondescript room here. For some reason, the tall man was in here banging on the door, screaming, "Let me in! Let me in!"
I mean...
Because he needed to kill somebody.
He needed to... He very much seemed like he had a goal. Trilby was dead in his sights, as it were. So we have us a hallway that, it's easier to think about this as this is the area for the game, and it's gonna be a lot easier to get your head around it if you think of it as a circle. Because we go out one end, we have this massive steel door here. And a nice lady who ran off to the left there. We come back to this other end. Hi, Sam. And we're back to the infirmary. So everything, it's one big circular area with the big steel door in the middle. We got some spectacles. These were probably ours. And they just left them in the hallway because they're jerks. Out of all that, we get a lens. And Sam doesn't want to hear anything until we're armed and ready to bust in and take care of the cultist. Also, presumably, Janine is the person that ran away from us in the hallway. Caning. Ensure that the prisoners remain sealed in the holding cell for at least 6 days. After this, it will no longer matter. Do not fail, Caning. This is your chance to redeem yourself for the crime of allowing the Orzechowski woman to explore the complex unsupervised. Janine doesn't seem to have a bloodline connection to the other characters in any of the other games. That was a quick turnaround. Where did you get the guns, Janine? So Janine's a little freaked out by the tall man, it would seem. But, alright. Two-person Die Hard. Go.
It's fine.
We got guns. He's got a robe. I think we win. And it's a good thing that she's in there, because there was only 2 guns. So... the Order of the Blessed Agony symbol on the back wall there. Oh, you recovered easily. This man should look familiar to those who saw the end of Trilby's notes.
That part of the ending, though, that was amended off of the original game, wasn't it?
Yes, that was added in for the special edition.
That was not there originally.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a brief recap, but it's there's a point coming up that lends itself to that. So, if you are new and confused, don't worry. There's a lot going on right now, and it is intentionally discombobulating. Because we clearly just showed up at the tail end of somebody else's escape plan. I don't know. I'm feeling a little agitated. Maybe I want to shout. Okay. Questions that need answering. Where the hell are we? Small laboratory complex under the ophthalmology building. Yes. Front for the Order of Blessed Agonies. Yes. There's something inside the hub, but we can't get in there. Okay. So, who is caning? Caning is just some acolyte. The Prince. That's a name you're definitely going to want to keep in mind. So Garriott was in charge of the building. Garriott answered to the Prince. Who was the man in red? And who are y'all? Trying to stick to new business. There is some old business stuff in there to recap past events, but I can do that faster than the game can. We have a scientist and a journalist who's been snooping around. Thousands of years ago, during the Roman invasion of Anglesey in Britain, a druid named Cabadath tried to summon a pain elemental from another dimension to help fight the Romans off and protect his land. He underestimated how strong the elemental was and was dragged into the other world. Cabadath was kept alive magically by having his soul put into a tree that grew on the site of his abduction, and twisted and mutilated and turned into the Tall Man, otherwise known as the Prince. That would be that long, pale fellow in the jacket that we saw at the beginning. Over the centuries, the wood of the tree was cut down. Its wood was used for a number of purposes. Every year on the date of the breach, July 28th, the Tall Man could come into our world and punish whoever had misused the tree. He kept doing this until an English dandy named Jack Freehorn bought a harpsichord that had been made from the wood of that tree. He fooled Freehorn into murdering his lover, a guy named Wilbur. I don't think we ever got Wilbur's last name. But Freehorn, a rabid occultist, formed the Order of the Blessed Agonies, which went on to worship the Tall Man and Chzo and plot to bring Chzo into our world. The wood then would later be carved into an idol by a African man named Mabuta, who was picked up by an English ship as he was drifting at sea, only to inspire Cabadath's wrath and have everyone on the sea, or everyone on the Sea Angel is the name of the ship, murdered.
Literally, it's because it's because he carved the wood out of the. Because every time somebody tries to work with the wood, it pains him.
Correct. The entire third game is a series of vignettes of people who try to do something involving this wood and end up being horribly murdered for it.
I'm willing to bet, like, Freehorn's boyfriend, like, started playing the harpsichord and then was immediately possessed because he just touched it.
That I would believe. That, you know what, that makes more sense than not, because
and he just started playing the song for as long as it took.
Yeah, maybe he got entranced into it, because that song was the theme that ends up becoming, Cabadath's kind of.
It's like Cabadath's motif, kind of, that shows up a few times.
The idol was then recovered by an explorer named Sir Roderick Defoe.
Right, then we get to Roderick.
Roderick Defoe beats
Roderick
his...
Defoe.
Yes, has a birth-defected son who, in childbirth, killed his wife. The boy's mother died in childbirth. Roderick then had the boy chained up and hidden away his entire life until one night he got drunk and angry and beat the boy to death with the idol made out of the wood. This trapped the boy's soul in the wood, and turned him into the Bridge Keeper, according to the books of the religion. The Bridge Keeper's entire purpose is to connect the land of technology, or our world, to Chzo's ethereal realm and allow him to enter. That is the big old ritual that this entire series has been in service of. In the past, Trilby managed to summon John Defoe's spirit back into his body and burn the corpse along with the entire house. In the future, Malcolm Somerset will take the idol and burn it up in the exhaust of the SS Mephistopheles. That's what we saw during the beginning. That takes care of the body and the soul. And now in the middle, the Order is about to complete their plan, presumably having found a way to destroy John Defoe's mind. But that doesn't really matter much to us, because we're some poor schmuck who came here to get some paperwork filled out and got pushed down an elevator shaft.
Why am I here? Well, 2,100 years ago, before Christ.
That is a very long and intricate explanation. I still don't care.
Why is my neck broken? Well, in 55 BC.
Also, note the date. Today is July 25th. Who are you,
Hello,
small
child.
child? Don't talk about him. Unpleasant. Double unpleasant. Oh, yes. Also, the man in red, just to reiterate, pointed out, don't go outside at night. Just don't.
The what guard?
The man in the nice hat. Yeah, obviously, this is a little bit further in the future than Trilby should be alive for. So what is he doing here? Especially if he can get his face crushed and then continue to be here. Mysteries. Cell phones have also developed P2P technology in the far future. You don't have to worry about those troublesome 5G towers. So phone just lets you talk to someone if you're not in the same room as them. Tell me about Trilby, for instance. Aha! So in the future, Trilby is akin to like a Sherlock Holmes type character.
Except he was real.
He's suspected to have been real. But then he joined some government agency and fictionalized himself. But that sounds like a ridiculous tinfoil hat conspiracy theory. That is absolutely true, that we know that, because we've played as him in other games. This right here, this is the music that was being played on the harpsichord. I think
it's
is
like
neat.
it's a little it's a little different, but it's
It's the same tune, yeah. Have you seen Sam? We're back to having our farewell text at the top of the page. I don't know why. Twice did the 28th day of the 7th month pass, and the prince gazed with great concern upon the land of technology, as the carving of the slave passed through the hands of the great many ignorant men of technology. But the king would not let him take his vengeance. For he said, the guide seeks the carving of the slave, and it is through the desire he shall fill his destiny. It will not be long before the guide learns that his duty has not yet been completed, and then he shall do as I have foreseen.
Is he saying that a bunch of people had the idol, but nobody got possessed?
Yeah. A bunch of people had the idol. The prince, Kabadeth, the tall man, wanted to kill them, because that's what he do, because that's his soul they're fucking with. And
right.
The king,
and
Chzo
basically said no.
It's time for the big plan to start. You don't get to... You don't get to play right now.
And you just wait.
Yeah.
Your time is not now.
There is a tension between, just because he is Chzo's servant, they are not necessarily of the same agenda, let's say. And as the king said it, so it was so, for the bridge keeper did touch one of the ignorant men, and by their conjoined hands was the thief wife thrown down, and truly did she know the name of the king. So the thief wife, I think, is meant to be Simone. This is filling in how Simone Taylor was killed at the beginning of Trilby's notes. Because the bridge keeper is Trilby. No, the bridge keeper is John. Sorry.
Is John Defoe. Yeah.
Yes.
The guide is Trilby.
The guide is Trilby. Right? Yes. And with this act, the guide said, I see you know, bridge keeper, I have found you and I have not forgotten. And he came to the tree that was the prince's soul, for it was here that the carving of the slave had been brought. This is finding the altar underneath the Clan Bronwyn Hotel in Trilby's notes.
Yeah, this is
and
the
that's where our book ends. Yes, the bridge keeper is John Defoe, the prince is the tall man, the king is Chzo, and the guide is Trilby. Post-it note on the locker over here. Instructions for opening locker, you only have to ask. Alright. Four-letter word. That wouldn't. Nah, that's too simple. No, it's too simple. It's the worst. And yet, here we are. But there's a key card in there. I said there's a key card in there. Go get it. So yeah, I can use the cell phone to contact these people between these two rooms here. Alright. Book of Prayers. The body is the physical form. It is the sum of what time has made it to be, and so it is of the past. John Defoe's body was destroyed in the past. The mind is sharp and logical. It concerns itself with the here and now, so it is of the present. The soul is love and hope. It is the dreams of what is to come, and so it is of the future. Body, mind, soul, past, present, future.
Yeah, he's sure setting the thing up. I see it.
Yeah. We got these.
It's not
we
gonna
got
make
these
me really
trinities here.
angry or anything.
Yeah.
It's not gonna make me really angry.
Oh, you'll be fine. We give thanks for them all in the name of the king. Now, the Order of the Blessed Agonies. You can talk to Linkman at the end of Trilby's notes, and he will describe what they refer to as the blessed agonies of the mind, body, and soul. Those being the blessed agony of the body is physical pain, cutting, burning, stabbing, strangling. The physical agonies of the mind are getting caught and thrown into the jail cell by Trilby.
Mind stuff is what you'd expect, boredom, isolation, loneliness,
Boredom and
that
madness.
stuff.
Yes. And the blessed blessed agony,
mild to bad stuff.
Yes. Oh ho. Our friend broke us out of jail.
And
Also,
put us in here.
We got ourselves a little disturbance over here. And this corpse, note the gray hoodie, or anorak, which is a hoodie, with a huge hole in the back of his skull. If you recall the scene from the end of Trilby's notes where the tall man was puppeting Linkman. And this is Linkman's body down here. And the blessed agony of the soul is the loss of someone you love. That's why it was so important for them to trick Freehorn into shooting Wilbur, because he had already, in his occultism, caused himself a great deal of physical pain and madness. They needed to get the third and final agony to break him. Should we just go into the little disturbance? Just reach our hand in? We can't do that. So if I remember correctly, yes, this was something that took me like a day to figure out the first time I played this game. Duh. Gruesome. So Cabodath really has it in for Trilby for some reason. Why might that be?
I have no idea. I think the answer is a little apparent.
Is it though?
It's the same. It's the same reason that John Defoe is afraid of Trilby.
Whoa. The hell? There's a semi-transparent filter over my hallway now. Let's leave that at that for the time being, and see what's in the surveillance room. So we can't access the screen yet. And that's open. It's not open. It's locked. My cognitive functions are wibbly.
Yeah, no, I understand. As someone who has done a lot of streaming in the past month, I've been mixing my words up a lot more often than usual.
It's just been today is the first like really gray day in the past like several weeks, and so like being stuck inside was one thing when like oh look the sun's out, and now it's just
Yes,
father,
that's the Father Vader.
the father Vader, yes. This is where we bring up that if you speak Dutch, that Star Wars didn't really have a twist
Yeah,
ending.
yeah, I know. I was deliberate. Wait, Vader does mean father, right?
In Dutch, yes.
In Dutch. Oh, I thought it was
Or
like Hebrew.
I thought it was one of them Scandinavian-y type languages.
Hang on, let me look it up.
I'm gonna look it up. I honestly, I'm starting to doubt myself now. Don't grab Sam. Talk to Sam.
You know, according to George Lucas, Darth is a variation of dark, while Vader means father. The Dutch word for father is Vader, but is pronounced differently. The German Vater has a closer pronunciation to the name. I see.
Ah.
But you know what? I don't put any stock in it because George Lucas said it.
And you know what else? Episode 9 was bad. There, I said it. I saw the man in red again.
I don't have any. Yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
I'm not right now. Nope.
Nope. Now is not the time.
Nope. I was bitching about that for months, and still am.
I hate those. I hate that I can't like say anything about the man in red.
We'll get there.
It's frustrating.
Don't worry about it. Worried about who the man in red is? Don't worry. We'll find him out.
Okay, when he started showing up, my immediate like reaction was, "All right, this is going to be some dumb bullshit." And that's kind of the case, but I think it's also kind of worth it.
Not tipping my when I say some of the highs in this game are the best of the series, I'm 70% of what I mean by that is him. It relates to him. So you will let's put that on the shelf, pin it up on the wall. Other metaphors of setting it aside, and hey, look, I saw some kind of monster. It was Slender Man in a trench coat.
I mean, the Thin Man, that's really what the Thin Man is.
From what I understand, and, once again, behind the scenes, director's commentary, blah, blah, blah. According to Yahtzee, he didn't steal the Thin Man from Slender Man. He stole it from Blood 2, The Chosen.
Okay.
Which is totally better.
That's fine. I'm not. Yeah, no.
Everything's stolen.
I think he did better with a Slender Man like aesthetic than Slender Man did. So.
Did you see that movie?
No, I had no interest in that.
It was bad. Where is Janine? No, the Slender Man movie was so bad. Like, it very clearly had big chunks of the plot just cut out of it. There are characters who just halfway through the movie just disappear and you never hear from them again. And they clearly had, like, a thing they were going to do that was going to be important.
Okay, so an issue I have with this game, this is one right here. There is way more exposition.
Yes.
There is considerably more exposition that kind of bogs down the stuff in between.
Yeah. I think this game would have been served better if it had just been Trilby working for the Ministry after the hotel, doing the thing, by pushing it forward into the future, but not so far enough that we can just go, obviously sci-fi, we have to lay a lot of groundwork. Whereas in 7 days, we could just go, legally distinct from the Starship Enterprise. Got it. Moving on. But now that the guard's gone, I should go check in on Janine. Just to see how she's doing. Who's Janine scared of? So Janine has been investigating this place for a while, snuck in, and the best thing she could do was to call the city council and say, hey, they're building without a permit. And it's all her fault. Well, that and the guy who pushed us down the elevator shaft. So we sent Sam over here. Now that we got the guard away from the door, theoretically, we can just bust in there and give caning a what for.
We don't have guns.
We don't. Where we're going, we don't need guns. Except we probably should have guns. Which is just as good as killing him, basically.
Where we're going, we probably shouldn't have guns.
Fuck plans. Just go. Oh, she still has her gun.
Oh, we do have a gun.
Un gun. Sans Trilby. Plus cultist equals shut up. That bullet would not help. That would do the opposite of help. So the elevator's useless. Is there no service ladder in the elevator shaft? And that's a fair point. We can't really torture him. It kind of... it's his whole thing. Ah, okay. Would you like a more exposition dump?
Yeah, I was kind of afraid of this.
Well, this is all optional, thankfully, so I'm going to just stick with the pertinent ones. Who's the man in black and who's the man in red? Sounds like you got a disgruntled employee.
The sound just cut out.
Yeah, I heard that.
Okay, we
Nope.
still have audio.
That was just a strangely edited track. So, key point, the man in red does not appear to be working with them. Alright, Canning, what's in your office? What have you got in here? We live in the universe of technology, or the scientific realm, where magic is very sparse. Our shadow is the universe of magic, or ethereal realm, where magic and magical creatures are abundant. In olden times, it was easier for entities to travel between the realms, hence the old stories of fantastic creatures. The druid Kabadath, circa 55 BC, created a bridging portal quite easily using a comparatively simple ritual. Since then, however, the background level of magic in the scientific realm has faded, and a ritual much larger in scope is required to transport any entity from one realm to the other.
You ever notice how there's a lot less magical background noise than usual than there used to be, like back in the old days?
Yeah, I blame the internets and those iPhones. It really gets a lot of static in the air that way. The ritual calls for the creation and sacrifice of a bridge, a living creature with ties to both realms, usually an entity born in the scientific realm, but later having their aspects imbued with magic. Backfill justification for the plot devices, yachts, yep. When all three of the bridge's aspects, mind, body, and soul, not necessarily in that order, are annihilated in conjunction, echoes of weakness ripple throughout the membrane between the realms and a portal can be opened. Exactly how long the portal remains open depends on the I could never pronounce this word. Prescience? Puissance?
And poisons?
Puissance?
I have no idea. I don't even know what that word means.
The end. That's what it means. Poisson? Isn't that just French for fish?
Thought it was passing.
So the top pages are torn off, but judging by the indentations, someone wrote down a series of numbers I can't quite make out. Some kind of environmental control program. Well, it's getting a bit warm in here. And those ventilators need cycling. Also, disable all security. Disable some security. Disable a little security. There we go. Makes sense to have all of that run from the same program, don't you think? Must be the giant steel door. Or not. But Sam's here. Well, I've got the key card. It was in a locker in our bunk for some reason. Or I could just find her a jackhammer and let her take care of it. Oh, I wonder what the extent of my injuries might be.
Bad. They're bad.
But how bad? That's pretty bad.
You extremely should not be walking right now.
Your whole everything is what we in the medical field call fucked. That's enough. No more talking. Okay. Got us a slot. Got us a key card. Got one of the devices open. Get us passcode. Thank you, brain. That word just was not there for a moment. Level 1 security opened up the camera control here. That's when it opened up. So, here we have access to the security monitors around the complex. We got camera 1, which looks like it's in the hallway there. Or a different hallway, rather. Camera 2. Some sort of barracks and storage facility. Camera 3. Some large glass tanks on a wall. That's odd. Don't know what those could be. And camera 4 is Koenig's office. We can review past footage. And we see him working and writing on the notepad. I wonder if now the lens lets you make out the numbers he's writing. Remember those numbers? They're very important. I'm also curious just to see if you can review old footage from the other cameras as well, if he thought of that. Doesn't appear to change. No. All right. Can't call the police. Oh yeah, and we can also review old journal entries and documents that we found. This will not be a 100% documents run. I don't know how many there are, but I'm just going to assume they're all mandatory for the time being. All right, dog, what was the code?
Oh, shit. You wanted me to remember?
I think it was 7759. There we go.
Sorry.
It's all good. Just keeping you on your toes.
I'm not on them. Now you know.
Oh, well, you are toeless. All right, spin those wheels and open the big steel door.
Yeah, let's just, never mind.
No, I can't do it, damn it.
We can walk, but we can't turn a wheel.
All right. Well, my one hand is broken. So, all right, look. Look, my whole left side is fucked. So I got to get one. In order for leverage, I need to turn it with my right arm and my right foot. Or I can just go ask the other able-bodied person in the building to help Sam open the door.
The other able-bodied person who is...
Janine.
Yeah, no, I know that. I'm just saying who is...
What? She'll get over it. She's fine. She's just a little spooked.
Kind of well, almost irrationally scared, it seems.
Look, there's
more so than you should be from whatever spookiness we've seen so far.
I mean, look. What's got her so spooked? We need your help. Come open the door. Come on. Yes, you can. I believe in you. Yeah, guard's dead. No more guard. No more caning. No more Slenderman knockoff lookalike guy. And 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, Sam. The fate of the world depends on you. Oh, that was fast. Oh, no. Look, the Hardys never make it through these things, okay? We should just be comfortable with that by now. Janine's a bit upset. Tough guy, Theo. We're going to go ahead and save. See, I'm learning. This room keeps getting weirder. Hey, dog. Have you ever been so upset that you were beside yourself?
Well, and then you strangle yourself?
And then you
Yes,
strangle
absolutely.
yourself. And then a mysterious man in a red robe puts you to sleep.
It's usually how it goes.
Yeah. I tried melatonin, but this is honestly the only thing that works.
Oh, I hate that stuff. It's never worked for me.
I tried it one time. It gave me the weirdest dreams. Hi. You're in a storage closet. No, that's not the answer you give. All your guts. Surprisingly practical, Trilby is. Have you solved the mystery of the resurrecting Trilby yet? Alright, he knows who he is. That's something. He's not just some, like, future cosplayer or anything like that. So this is this is dumb, but I will defend it. It is a very dumb plot device, but it leads to something cool. So whatever's happened to Trilby, all he really remembers is his name and John Defoe. Those are the only, like, clear things that stayed with him. And I think it's telling that one of those things is when he killed Phil. That had, like, if they didn't hammer home in Trilby's notes how much of an effect that had on him afterwards. There you go. Maybe we should look around where you woke up. Also, doors don't open and characters just kind of disappear. Where might he have... Oh, maybe he's in there. Okay. The Clan Bronwyn Hotel incident took the soul of the Bridgekeeper from us and delayed the coming of the king for hundreds of years. But at the same time, it brought the prince to us with the solution already in hand. The prophecy in the books of Chzo demanded that the guide assists the creation of the bridge. Obviously, he could not do that if he was long since dead of old age. But the sample of his blood provided by the prince was enough to ensure that the guide would exist for more than long enough to fulfill his destiny. They cloned him. They cloned the hell out of him. Look at all them cloning tanks. Also this book. It is dumb.
But his memories are... Why does he have the memories of the... Never mind.
Alright, look, if we're going to accept this shit in Assassin's Creed, by gum, we're going to accept it here.
I don't accept it in Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed is extraordinarily dumb.
Fair enough. 5. At this time, another came to the tree that was the prince's soul, and this other was of the faith, but blinded by pride, and so he was the prideful acolyte. This is Lenkman we're talking about now. And the prideful acolyte threw down the guide, and subjecting the guide is Trilby, to the blessed agony of the body, he called forth the prince, and the prince crossed over to the land of technology. And the prince was much displeased, for the prideful acolyte would in his arrogance interfere with the destiny of the guide, and so he threw down the prideful acolyte, and the prideful acolyte became the puppet, and knew the name of the king. And with great fear did the guide take up the soul of the Bridgekeeper, immune to its influence, for the Bridgekeeper was also greatly fearful, and he hid the soul of the Bridgekeeper away to a place where it would meet its final destiny. This is something you want to take note of. Trilby took the idol and was immune to its influence because John Defoe was afraid of him. Why would John be afraid of him? Because he burned the body. Because he defeated him at the end of the first game. It scared John.
Yeah.
So the cloning thing is dumb, but it does lead you to this aspect that the welder is afraid of Trilby, and that is going to be very important in the rest of the game going forward. So I think it's worth the dumb.
Yeah, I mean, it's like every time there's a dumb plot point, it's like it's to set up something that's kind of neat, I guess. You have to accept a dumb thing to do it, though. So it's like you punch yourself in the face before, before you accept it.
Look, it's the blessed agony of the face in order to... I'm not going to follow through with that. I can't. I don't know anymore. And the prince and the puppet took their message to the order of the blessed agonies. And then here we are. Also a hat. A hat that would look bad on me, so I don't bother. In the vest and the slacks and everything too. The more I get angry and kind of aroused for some reason, I can't place it. Just jump straight to the heart of it. Like, can you open a door for me? Damn it. So if we want out of here, if we want Trilby's help, we need to help him come to grips with this sudden existential crisis he's dealing with. I can't argue with that reasoning. Mm-hmm. Apparently this is where we keep the last slug trilby. That's there. Was there anything else on this computer? I can't... No, nothing left. All right. Well, let's go see how Janine's dealing. She was not great last time we saw her. Well,
Janine.
Says here Samantha's phone is still switched on. Two, 7 or 1. Tuck that away in the back of the old noodle. Can you... Does this look weird to you? Isn't it always like that? So this...
They look like people to you. Ah!
Thank you.
Thank you. It's the same.
I was thinking more Angela, but sure. Or like Laura in reverse. These are Silent Hill jokes. Anyway, we need to get into the hub again.
We need to go to the murder zone.
Yeah. Into Spook Cave?
Spook Lab?
Spook Bunker?
Spook Hub? Yeah, Spook Bunker. Yeah.
What if I definitely know what's in there? What if I absolutely, for super duper sure, figure it out?
Unless they invent a way to see things without actually being someplace, I think you're out of luck.
Oh, don't you worry. I got something ready to blow your mind.
In the year 2189, there's no way we have the technology yet.
Janine is very much not all right. All right. Talk to you later. You want some evidence? I'll get you some evidence. I'll find some evidence. Just you wait and see. Oh, hey, the manacles.
Yeah.
eagle-eyed viewers may remember that when we were here last time, there was a camera 5 restricted. And if I remember, it was 7541. Nope. Hold on. Gotta call her again. 2741. I was almost, kind of, sort of. 2741. What's in the monitor? Just a wide circular chamber. But the remains of some old ruined building. I wonder where we are, Crimmet.
Huh.
I'm gonna just download that picture. Oh, Janine. Still can't get in the door. I got a picture for Janine. All right. I've seen what's inside the hub. Not a whole lot. Some rubble, some sticks. Sure. Have this photo. I also love that the super secret cult security monitor console is like compatible with our, I assume, mid-range commercial cell phone of the day. We can just tap right in, download whatever we want. Okay. One half of Team Get the Damn Door Open is go. Why would they lock the refrigerator? So now all we need is to get Trilby in the same boat, get him on board. We can make our way yonder, blood. You know, I get that folks are in like some circumstances, but I would try to find something to wipe all this blood up with, or at least put a towel over it. It was like looking through the eye holes of a mask. Maybe we should stay away from Janine. We should just give her some space.
Okay, so what about Trilby, though?
Let's go talk to him again. We need him to help open the door. But he wants to remain here until he remembers something. And it'll take some time. So we need to jog his memory. Not gonna lie, I'm in stumble and fuck with it mode, so if you got that walkthrough handy, feel free to cut me off whenever.
Oh, sure. Where are we? What day?
Day
Day 3.
3, yes.
I think we need to talk to Canning.
We need to talk to that son of a bitch? I thought we left him to rot.
I think we need to get info from him. And then we can go to Trilby.
Stupid face and bald pate. Oh, I think what it is we just need to officially learn in game that Trilby is a clone.
Yes.
And tell him that because they can't put the pieces together themselves.
No.
Despite the fact that he is coming out of a cloning tank in a cloning chamber in a cloning lab. What was she doing? What could have her specialty been? I don't think she was a scientist at all. Or she was a cloner. You know, a clonologist. A graduate of Clone U. Was Clone U like a supernatural teen coming of age story? Because it sounds like it ought to have been.
That sounds about right.
Right up there with your Twilights and your Harry Potters and your I don't know, your Artemis Fowls. I think I saw that book on a shelf in a Barnes and Noble once. I don't have a picture of Trilby's mom. I guess we gotta go grave robbing. And
Yep.
I'm also not prepared to negotiate your release. Shut up. You sit in there with no food and no water. Well, let's go get that ID card. Fuck. Well, if it's not... Is it in
Somebody
the trash?
took it.
Damn it, Janine. Well, I'm judging you. I'm judging you a little bit. I need that. Okay. So they can't transmit ID cards through cell phones. We know that. That is a rule in the future. No ID cards through airwaves. Sandwiches are a possibility. Also, make the guy with the broken leg do all the walking, Janine.
That's like the real big joke of this game is how much work they fucking make this guy do who should not be standing without bleeding out.
Yeah, well, like, Somerset in 7 days, like, had the most useless crew, and he had to do all their jobs. At least all of his limbs were solid. Thanks. All right, Trilby, I got this picture of your mom. And there's another one of you just in case. She's also the descendant of the person you murdered that, like, traumatized you to the very core of your being. So... that's something. One thing I do kind of wish they would have acknowledged, because like they do play heavily that Philip's death is what like caused a fundamental change in Trilby. At no point does anyone ever acknowledge, like, yes, it is tragic and bad that happened. Philip was kind of a dick.
I guess not. Nobody ever really acknowledges that. But I mean, it still doesn't,
Like, it's still bad. Trilby is still traumatized by it. You just seems like... oh, wait, hold on. Janine's freaking out here. Janine doesn't like Trilby. Phil was kind of a dick, though. All right. Yeah, sure. Can do. Fine. Whatever. Spin the wheel. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Stop. Damn it.
Oh my god.
Janine, you realize that would leave you here alone with him. How about you go fix it? That way you'll be safe from him, and I can sit the fuck down for a minute. The soundtrack picks the oddest times to pop in. I'm just opening and closing the damn cover.
This game doesn't actually have any deaths. There's no game over screen. I remember that.
Yeah. There's one section you can fuck up, but that just means you got to start over at the beginning, and it's actually the only real way to figure it out is a trial and error. But we're not going to be there for a minute. A fuse. I don't remember where the fuse is. Trying to think. Alright, it's not in here. And it's not in the security room.
What's in our inventory?
A lens. And a phone. And a journal.
Filing cabinet.
Filing...
Office?
Yeah. Yeah, Koenig's office, methinks. Did I miss a pickup somewhere?
Sure, but on top.
Documents. It's a thick stack of useless accounting reports. I'm not even sure why I picked it up. Ooh, the staple might come in handy. Thank you. I think in past playthroughs, that was the kind of thing I got the first time I came in here, and then just was carrying around a staple for some reason.
Yeah, it's fair.
And this time, I just neglected to do that. Filed under F for... Damn it. Don't love you, cloning lab. Go away. Alright, let's shove some pennies in this and get on out of here. That's just horribly dangerous, by the way. Don't do this. Where'd Janine go? Oh, hi, me. And other me. Wow.
Good doorman.
So, to the letter of their jobs. I think it's more like you're all clones of someone else. Yeah, there you go. You're a smarty pants. Why not? Let's do it. Now, in the security footage, remember, there was nothing. Well, almost nothing. Some junk. All right. What the hell?
This is fine.
Yeah, we're good. All is well. No, don't go walkabouts. Just hang out with us. Fuck.
No.
I do not understand.
No, I do not understand. I like how the trumpets do not play during this song. This song, like, somehow something happened to the MIDI in this song.
All right. The man in red's going to give us some answers. That is a construct of John Defoe's mind. When he died, the mind and body went into the house. Trilby burned it down. He only destroyed the body. The mind is still there. And this whole hub has been built around the ruins of that house. But they needed to contain the evil. Why Trilby? Well, we've said this one just outright earlier, because John Defoe is scared of him. That would suck. I would be angry. So, John Defoe is afraid of Trilby. That's why the idol couldn't corrupt him back in the past, and that's why the clones are used to keep him in bay right now. Why is Cabadath killing Trilbies? Damn. It's also worth pointing out here that Janine has been freaked out by Trilby from the beginning, and also this hallway situation that looks like the basement of Defoe Manor. That's how she's always seen it. Ow. Ow.
Ow.
Ow.
Please. Don't touch me. Just don't.
Ow.
I'm sorry, but this doesn't work. You can't do this when you have broken your neck.
Yeah, no, nothing. I hate this. This I hate. There's a reason for this. It's a weak reason.
There is a very distinct reason for this, but it's like, it's not worth it. It's not worth the leap you have to make. It doesn't work. This is the Trilby clones for the whole he's afraid of him and that aspect of the manipulation, worth it. Those two have nothing. Like, there is no chemistry there. There's no reason other than we're about to die, so might as well. Also, his fucking neck is broken. And now Kaning's very... Oh, it was a dream. Where'd Janine go? Janine's gone. What are we on? Day 4? I spaced when the screen came up. I was still angry. Day 4.
We're on 4. Alright. We are... Well... Alright, Caning. That sounds like you're just wanting attention. Bastards. I don't even know how to do that. I dreamed about this. Well... That just leaves me and... Oh, for fuck. You know what? I'm starting to think maybe you can die. I don't know. This room's glowing. Force field. Sure. Fine. Fuck it. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. Well. Oh, the Whispers. Haven't heard from you in a long time. Welcome back, friends.
Do you remember what you have to do here?
This isn't the part with the spectral pickaxe.
No, I think it is.
Then I have forgotten how to get the spectral pickaxe.
Look around the hallway. Should see something.
Damn.
One of these doors has something in it.
Well, I'm being fucking chased by the possessed body of the woman I... Oh, hey, look at that. The woman I inexplicably had sex with last night. Damn it. Damn it. Ah, there you are, Spectral Pickaxe. I knew I'd find you one of these days. It doesn't seem to weigh anything. Just a note for all the single people, if your date puts on a welder's mask and starts coming after you with a machete, I don't know, swipe left? Is that how the kids do it these days? Spectral Pickaxe. And now we... Ah, there we go. And get her. And unfortunately, that was for realsies. Day 5. February 3rd, 2386. Which is much further in the future. The Mephistopheles killer? What is this? So, yeah, confirmation that Dr. Somerset actually did kill his father. Well, he did just want to go into space after all, and...
I don't think there's any audio here. Yeah, now there's audio. We're fine.
Gonna save because I have seen this, I've seen the game glitch out at this point before. Well, a door, and a hatch in the door, and a window in the door, and some walls. They tend to not want you to have a whole lot in a space like this. What's the man in red doing here? Really now? Recall the man in red earlier, he said he's just an avatar. He is here to make sure things go according to plan. And all we need is the key and the door. Some kind of odd knife keyblade thing. Oh, we're gonna play Kingdom Hearts. Great. And there's the door, and there's the key, and it all goes together. I'm sure this descent we're taking is meant to be entirely literal and not metaphorical in any way. So that first one was when Barry got on the spikes, not when Defoe.
Correct.
And right there we had Serena being taken out in the bridge. Here we got Angela in the brig. Ooh, that's starting to look a little familiar. Taylor. And then Adam got sucked out the porthole. John Defoe didn't have anything to do with that. So Dr. Somerset has now become the man in red. And oh, well, here's a spot. It's down this pit. This is horrible, but that was kind of funny. He got too greedy. And so somehow we have passed over into the ethereal realm. Where would he have seen him? Yeah, so there's the plot spackle. That's why we get that scene in the special edition of Trilby's Notes. We have Freehorn's Blade. That hasn't come up yet. Well, at least we can do some good. Or should we try to be altruistic?
I mean, we don't even know where here is.
Here is the body of Chzo, god of pain. Well, there doesn't seem much to be done around here. We can't even leave the way we came, so... Only thing to do is fulfill his request. And we have a ball of energy. With a little hat. And over on the left, we have a body.
We have to close a dumb time loop.
So when Lankman was performing the ritual...
Yeah.
Creepy. Trilby done died. And what the... the holy hell. Okay.
You're not gonna really guide anybody, though.
He influences. Day 6. July 28th. But I don't want to go down there. Pawn that crosses the board becomes a king. Not true. Not true. In fact, that's
Not
the
how
only
it works,
piece.
Yahtzee.
But a nice sentiment. But literally the only piece a pawn cannot become. Here we go. Freehorn's blade is one of the Order's most sacred relics. It is said to have been used by the 18th century prophet Jack Freehorn himself to deliver the 12 sacrifices that enabled him to write the books of Chzo. When a person dies, their body, mind, and soul separate and drift apart. An individual killed by Freehorn's blade, however, separates differently. They leave their body behind, while the mind and soul remain together. This results in a non-corporeal spirit of unusual ability, capable of strong manifestations, but they remain forever under the command of the one who wielded the blade. An individual can exploit a loophole in these rules by killing themselves with Freehorn's blade, which would theoretically transform them into an immensely powerful spirit, a magic-infused force of pure will. None, however, have yet chanced this.
And it sucks. Don't do it.
Yeah, but, it's kind of tantalizing, but it's scary, and it might not work. But it might turn you into a creepy red-robed monk man, but it might just not do anything. I think that's kind of neat. Magic Ghost Sword is, okay, cool. I can come up with D&D items on my own, too. Ain't this fun. But that sort of, risk-reward, especially in a story about pain demons and ethereal other worlds, it just seems like a neat aspect. And now the hallway has gone completely basement. Also, yes, Janine was possessed by John the entire time. That's just what she saw whenever she went outside. It's also why she was so scared of Trilby. now it is Theo and his 3 trilby friends. So, them's the rules. If we fuck up, we can come back and get more. Oh, well, there's the machete. Let's take that spectral machete. So, the way this works, you go through a room, and then you get a freebie. And then you go through a room and a trilby dies. And I thought you get a freebie between each death, but apparently I'm wrong.
No, I think you're in trouble.
And if you have no more trilbies, there's nothing to keep Defoe from coming out and stabbing your face.
Yes, death in this game means that you just end up waking up back in your bed.
Yes. And the items you collected, you noticed we got the spectral machete and a spectral apron. They are not here. You need to get them all.
No, you got to do the puzzle correctly. You can't cheat it.
Yeah, sure, we'll do. That's fine. Nah. Nah, not happened. We haven't done that. Nope. Army of Trilbies.
So this is 1-to-1. Well, not 1-to-1, but this is exactly the melody that Freehorn's friend was playing on the harpsichord.
Yes. Yes. Well, no more Trilbies there. But we know there's nothing in these rooms that we need. I want to say it's been slowly building to it as this melody comes in. So here's the trick. Like every time that audio cue comes in, they've been slowly building the elements to the full melody. Although I'm not prepared to say that for sure. I know it's been different every time. So, you can get an item and go back to the foyer, and then you can go refresh your trilbies. So the puzzle is just essentially knowing you can do that. And sometimes the game will finagle when it kills you. So for instance, like we did here last time, We are now out of trilbies, but it won't kill you in the foyer.
I think you're safe in the foyer.
Or the foyer. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that word.
I always heard of foyer.
There we go. Refresh. Oh, and actually, worth pointing out, still have the ghost machete. So, fresh batch of ghost trilbies. Got us a mask. So we know who the man in red is. We still haven't answered, though, why is Kabadeth snapping all these trilby necks?
Yeah, honestly, that's a limitation of the engine, but that would be very funny if the corpses persisted.
Oh, if, like, over
Yeah, if every
multiple
time
attempts
you
at
had
this
a
puzzle,
corpse,
there
it
were
would
just
stick there.
there were just trilbies everywhere. Oh man, that would get gruesome. It would be like the victory lap of Super Meat Boy level, but not so silly and spontaneous.
Yeah.
All right, we have the full John Defoe cosplay outfit. Only thing left to do is head to the basement like we were told. Just gonna go ahead. Now we're all... Oh, there goes our last protection.
Must have been fun programming this part.
I want to say this is randomly generated.
Yeah, right. That's why he would have had to program it.
Yeah. There were a couple of pieces that were very telling that showed up there. The floating man. Remember the floating man? We've seen the floating man before.
We've seen the floating man once. Exactly
Yes.
once.
Exactly un singular time. See, he guides, he influences. He keeps a gentle hand on the situation. What's with the darkness? The darkness needs to stop. What? No, it's fine. It's all good. Children of the King, rejoice, for the time is finally at hand. Our patience these last few centuries will finally be rewarded. 200 years ago, the body of the Bridge Keeper was destroyed. 200 years from now, the soul of the Bridge Keeper will meet the same fates. These are known as bridge events. Their significance was so great that they sent ripples of weakness throughout the timeline itself, echoing off both into the past and the future. On the 28th of July, 2189, the ripples from the past will collide with the ripples from the future, creating an area of extreme weakness between the two realms. That is a fucking complex ritual y'all have got going on there.
Yeah, this is a fucking convoluted ritual.
If the third bridge event, the destruction of the mind, which you may recall his mind haunted the grounds and the ruins of the Defoe Manor, occurs at this point, the force of the explosion will penetrate that area of weakness and form the bridge between the realms. Over the bridge, the King Chzo will come. He will come to save us and all the men of technology from sin. Red, he will cause us unbearable pain for all eternity. 'Cause that is his num-nums. We must, however, be alive to enjoy this new age of perfect purity, and so it is important that the complex and the ophthalmology building be evacuated at least 1 week prior to the bridge event. The sacrifice must be made, but not by us. That's a bit too far. What's under the tarp, then? A big fucking bomb. A nano-explosive. It's the future.
It's the future.
It's the future. Well, time to defuse the bomb. Wait a second. I have no idea how to defuse a bomb. Oh, it's already been done. Oh, we're good. Oh, that's fine. I guess I'll just get on out of here then.
The tall man was there.
Yeah, the tall man defused the bomb. He's a nice man.
Trilby!
But the man in red told Trilby to... But the tall man did the good thing and Trilby and the man in red did the bad thing. Did we get the bad ending? There's only one ending. There's no bad ending. No loss of life and nothing else worth reporting on. Well, it's ecologically bad. So the villain tried to save us, and the hero doomed us, and the evil cult succeeded in their ritual. And nothing happened.
Yeah, I guess the fact that it was like 6 days later, there was a news broadcast that wasn't all hail our new overlord. I guess you can say that Chzo did not show up, even though the portal was probably opened.
A creature so dependent on magic could probably not survive in a realm without one.
Yeah.
Everyone was misled by the pain elementals, but why? They had a reason for tricking them into opening the bridge. They couldn't possibly come through. They would die. It would be like if we tried to live on a planet without oxygen. Or did he want to bring something over? And the man in red does not care. He fulfills the timeline. That is his beginning and end give a fuck. And now we do it again. So what was all of this about? What was the point? In the 18th century, the prophet Jack Freehorn put to paper the 3 books of Chzo. The blood of the 12 sacrifices still fresh on his hands. The Book of the Prince, the Book of Victims, and the Book of the Bridge. There is a central tenet in the faith of the Order of the Blessed Agonies. What is not known, not even by the highest acolytes, and likely not even by the prince himself, is that there was a 4th book. It seemed to contradict the other prophecies, and Freehorn discarded the draft, thinking it a garbled message. This was the Book of the New Prince. And here is what it said. On the day of the bridge, the prince returned to the court of the king and bowed low before the presence. And the king was greatly wrathful, and he said to the prince, "Why have you returned, O prince, you who would betray his king, who would defy his own flesh?" And with those words, the king threw down the prince and stripped away his vestments, and the prince once again became the arrogant man. And the arrogant man said, "I wanted only to please you, my king. I know you schemed to replace me. If I betrayed you, it was only to remain your prince." And the king replied, "I have not forgotten that you are the arrogant man, and still your arrogance blinds you. Who are you to question my plans, you little man of linear time?"
Good insult. You've experienced time linear in a linear fashion, you idiot, you moron.
And I have seen Agonies of Millions of Men forever. I'm a big old god monster.
Oh, sorry.
It's all good.
Wait, this text wasn't here originally.
Nope. This is the Book of the New Prince.
Here.
The Book of the New Prince was added in the Special Edition. The Special Editions added a bunch of clarifying shit. And the king took the vestments of the prince and gave them to the man of purity, and the man of purity became the new prince. Fun fact, Theo DeCabe is an anagram
of Cabadath, right?
Yep. The arrogant man wept aloud. "Why have you betrayed me, my king? What have I done that I should earn this wrath?" Came the reply, "Long ago you were offered the chance to fulfill the role of the bridge as being a man of both magic and technology. You could have proven your commitment to your king. You could have chosen your successor. But in your arrogance you resisted and created the child to become the bridge in your stead." So John Defoe from the beginning was being manipulated by Cabadath to try to get out of his obligations to Chzo. And that's what all of this was about.
Yeah, some internal politics between Cabadath and Chzo.
This whole ritual and the cult and the order was entirely, we need to talk about your future with the company. Also, goddamn.
He's perfect. He has the power. He has gone through the ritual.
So, the reason Theo had to have sex with Janine was to fulfill the blessed agonies. Blessed agony of the body he had pretty much from the jump. That was obvious. He went mad. You go back over the game. He spends the entire time going, "Why does no one give me a straight answer?" He's been confused and ignored and brushed aside this entire time. It's been driving him out of his fucking skull. They needed to give him someone to lose. So unfortunately, that means they needed to force and fridge this whole fucking situation with Janine. And it's stupid and I hate it.
Yes, that is... Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better.
I get why it needs to be there. I get why
it's
there
in
should
the
have...
requirements.
Yeah, it's literally the third thing on the checklist. Should have found a better way to do it.
Right. Should have, I don't know, had a wife back home that he got the phone call and, I don't know.
Anything. It's literally someone he cares about has to be taken away from him. It doesn't even say that they have to die. Like, there could be...
Right, he could have just been being separated from somebody.
Yeah, it could just be he had a wife that he missed. It could be that there was a son going away to college. There's literally thousands of possibilities. This was probably the worst one. But now we're a super powerful floaty god monster. And Trilby's just not having it. We've also just become completely enveloped. Like, that's not even Trilby, it's just the guide. I believe if we look at Chzo, my king... Protect. Kabadath isn't even the prince or the tall man. He's just the arrogant man. I also love how in Trilby's notes he was the dread, and now he's just this pathetic thing. Like, there's good and bad. It can be both things. This is a pretty badass power shot, I'm not gonna lie. And the arrogant man knew the name of the king.
Credits.
And that's the game. So here we got a little bit of montage. Blue stuff is from 6 days, and it's in the middle. Red stuff is from 5 days, and it's on the right. Green stuff is from 7 days, and it's on the right. Red stuff is from 5 days, it's on the left. You know what side of the screen you're looking at.
So this one had an original soundtrack.
Yeah, so did Trilby's Notes.
Yeah, that did too.
I have not looked up Mark Lovegrove and the rest of his work, but I have enjoyed what I've heard of it. Yeah, so all of that, all of the ritual, Monster literally did not care. Had his own thing going on.
Monster did not care. Yeah, Monster had its own agenda, which, you know, surprise? Not really.
For me, it kind of balances out the overly convoluted bullshit nature of the ritual. It's this huge, complicated, bloated thing to get a new recruit.
Yeah, because what is... I mean, it's not... Yeah. That makes more sense than it just being a convoluted thing.
And that is the Chzo mythos. Now, one more to go. It's an epilogue of sorts. Because after the Klein Bronwyn Hotel incident, Trilby went on to have a life and a career. And we get to take a little bit of a peek into what that might have been like. So for the next and final time, it is going to be The Consuming Shadow.
Nice.
Thank you all very much for watching. Thank you, Voice of Dog, for hanging out.
Sure, no problem.
And good night.